How's it going, everybody? Today is Tuesday, April 16th, 2019. Just doing a little brief follow-up video here. So a couple things. First off, I apologize for anybody that's been following me, and I haven't been uploading videos in the last few days. For the last week, I've been pretty sick. A couple days I felt pretty dizzy. Most of the days, lightheaded. My sinuses have been pretty bad. My throat, a lot of coughing, nasty crud going around, I guess. But, and I apologize for the lighting in here. First off, I'm doing this in my car. I don't have the greatest lighting, so I'm sitting in a parking lot where there's a light directly above me to help hopefully illuminate some, in here a bit, to hopefully try to get through this video at least. This is about the only time usually I get to make these videos is usually in my car or someplace out and about, because I'm working all the time, or when I go home, I'm too ungodly tired. I'm stressed. My depression has been way down in the gutter. Just a lot on my plate, a lot on my back. Not looking forward to tomorrow. I mean, I am, but I'm not. I am, because I'm hoping that maybe for once in this godforsaken world, out of the 3 divorces I ever had, that maybe there could be one judge with common sense that would actually see the truth and the reality, and actually, agree with me, and actually see that I'm right regarding this, and not give in to my ex's attorney by granting it. Because if he grants it, then I'm done. I don't have the energy. I don't have the patience. I'm not fighting it in Grand Forks County. It's not even a valid case, as I mentioned in prior videos that I made. I've fought in my own ways. I have fought for all my other kids. I had my other 2 girls and my boys. My first 2 girls, I did everything I could. I had an attorney and everything like that. But, when somebody writes up false statements about you, it's not easy. It's not easy to, unless you got witnesses or any kind of evidence to back it up, or to protect yourself. It's a he said, she said. But with somebody writing a false statement, claiming something that isn't true, and then submitting it to a court, and... It's like, what do you do to beat it? My attorney didn't do justice for me on that, so that's why I got rid of my attorney, and I got screwed by the system. So it is what it is. And now my girls hate me. They don't talk to me. They want nothing to do with me, and I don't hate them. I don't judge them. I don't think any less of them. I mean, it is their opinions. It is their voices. I love my girls and all my kids, actually. I love all my kids. But I love my girls, no less, I am their father, nevertheless, blood related. Maybe not legally on paper anymore, because they were adopted by my ex's husband, but they are in my heart and in my blood. They are my kids, so I do anything for them, but... I think for all the years of them growing up, they only got to see one side of the story, so I don't think there's any way of changing their view or getting them to see the light. I'm not saying it can't be possible, but it's going to be very hard, because a lot of that stuff growing up that was told to them, or that they seen on the one half, it just becomes ingrained into their souls, ingrained into their mind, that's just what it is, and nothing's going to change, and that party's right and I'm wrong. So I mean, I'd plead my story, which is what I'm doing here. That's why I'm doing these YouTube videos. I'm pleading my story. I'm pleading my honest, realistic, truthful, like, I don't know how to describe it, but the straight down to earth facts of what it is. I mean, how cruddy divorces can be, and how it can rip families apart, and how somebody could lose custody just that simple, or not even get custody. And if they only got visitation, it's not a custody agreement, and most courts won't enforce anybody to do anything. But nevertheless, it is what it is. So like I said, I do these videos, and my kids, as they grow up, I mean, the older they get, they can come and watch these videos anytime they want, because these aren't going anywhere. They can take it for what they want. They can believe me, or they can, think I'm a liar. But, I know the truth, and that's what matters. My boys don't even know me. They're just used for child support. She doesn't care whether or not the actual father's in in their kids' life. They're growing up only knowing her husband now as a dad. Nothing again I can do about it, because I only have visitation, and I even brought it up to the courts, when we were in there before, and her excuse, to even why he wouldn't adopt them is because they're not ready to. Well, I'll tell you, there's only two reasons why, and the number one reason is the money. So, my daughter now I haven't talked to for a while. I don't know what the stipulations are behind that, or the situation of stipulations. Nevertheless, all three marriages and all my relationships with my kids is based off of parental alienation. If anybody doesn't know what that is, it's basically where one parent brainwashes or manipulates, or implants it in their mind the bad things about the other parent, says bad things, and then it just, the kids become that. They just, or not become that, but they become. I'm sorry, my mind is so shot right now. They become more susceptible into believing it and living that way, and that's just the way they see it. So, of course, all this time away from my daughter, because she's being withheld from me. I mean, I'm not allowed to bring her here, she's already made that clear to me, so she's withholding my child from me. Her attorney also has put it in the paperwork that, which I've already explained in a prior video about my visitation rights, that if they can get the court to grant it, which is pretty much nothing, because one weekend a month, the last weekend of the month, and it has to be at my expense, and I have to travel there, and I would have to find a hotel room to stay at, in order to make the time worthwhile, because it's basically a 10-hour trip, 5 hours there, 5 hours back. So 10 hours, if in one day, doesn't leave you much time to, spend with your kids or child, or my daughter. And then the 2 weeks out of the summers, I can't be consecutive, but again, I'd have to go there, and then I have to pay for a hotel, and it's it's a big crock. The court system's a crock, the divorce system's a crock, the family law system's a crock. It's all a crock. So I'm trying to go in with at least a little bit of faith for tomorrow, that in hopes that this judge will open his eyes and see the reality, and not let this happen. But if he does, I'm done. It's over. I will give up both my jobs. It's not that I don't want to support my kids, but when somebody doesn't appreciate the things that I have done for them over the course of the years, when you're married to them, how much I've gone out of my way, and then how I get treated, how I get accused of doing stuff that I'm not doing, how I get, basically abused every day, whether it be verbally or, getting yelled at, or treated like dirt because, I work 2 full-time jobs and I don't get time to myself. And it's like the very little time I do get it, I go to Grizzlies, with a coworker of mine. And him and I would go out for just a couple beers and a meal. And that wasn't very often. That was maybe once a week or once every other week if I was lucky, Even when I couldn't afford it, I'd throw it on a credit card just because I needed to get away, because I wanted to rip my hair out like every day. You come home and you try to play a video game and you're accused of doing something that of cheating when you're not cheating. Yeah, you get accused of making comments like, we're talking about the video game, one of the games that I played was Sea of Thieves. We were talking legitimately about the video games and things that we're doing in the video games, and she's turning it all into a sexual innuendo. My ex was. And then she'd just grow attitude, or she'd give me the silent treatment. I'd ask her what her problem is, because, I I already know when she gives me the silent treatment, she's blaming me for something, or I'm a problem to her, or I did something, which baffles me, because I do nothing. I've done nothing. But I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to go, like I said, with high hopes, not high hopes, with small hopes, that something's going to change, because I don't want to set myself up for failure. I don't want to know that I go in there believing that I have high hopes, and then it becomes a complete failure, and then I get screwed anyways. But anybody that does show up, again, it's 3:45 p.m. tomorrow, Central Standard Time, Kandiyohi County. And I know I've repeated this in all the other videos, and it's even in descriptions below in most of the videos. But 3:45 p.m. Central Standard Time, Kandiyohi County Courthouse in Willmar, Minnesota. If you're not sure where it's at, look on prior videos. It's in the description. If you need the address, Google it. Anybody that wants to attend can attend. I have no problem. I don't have a problem with anybody attending the court hearing. They can sit in and watch watch how bad this becomes and how screwed men get in the court system. They can watch my life crumble. I don't have a problem, and I welcome anybody to sit in the courtroom. Whether or not the judge allows it or whatever, I don't know. And so if you do show up tomorrow, and for some reason the judge does not allow you in the courtroom, just hang tight out in the main hallway, and when the court hearing is done, I will brief anybody and everybody on what happened. And anybody that can't make it, period, to the court hearing and wants to follow up on this, I will post a video tomorrow night after I get done with work, with everything that was basically brought up in court, in whatever the judge determines, providing he makes a decision, if it's that instant or if he has to think about it and mail us a decision or whatever. Either way, I'm going to get that information out there as quick as I can to you for the information that I do know at that present time. And if any further updates become of it later after that, I will continue with more video updates as much as I can. So that is the most recent update as far as that and my kids and my in this court hearing tomorrow. Also, April 15th was last day for tax day for us Minnesotans, or most people across the country for the most part. Basically, you had to have it postmarked or e-filed or whatever by April 15th. I was going to try to file for an extension because I just didn't have the money and stuff like that, but the extension just gives you more time to file. But then again, when I looked into trying to file, it was asking me all the questions basically that, to file. So it didn't make sense what this extension was, because if you're asking all my questions about my taxes, then obviously you want me to file my taxes. You're not going to really give me an extension. And it even states in there that the extension doesn't give you more time to pay. You still have to pay by the due date. So I was like, yeah, I'm screwed. Excuse me. But I was like, yeah, I'm screwed. So I was like, well, I might as well just file it. And I guess if I make the payment late, I make the payment late. I had a little over $1,200 saved up in my savings account. It's the most that I could get. Unfortunately, none of my stuff is sold. I was hoping to sell my entire pop collection for one bulk pricing, but apparently that didn't happen. Nobody messaged. Nobody showed interest on any of the other stuff. So with the a little over $1,200 that I had in savings stashed away, I was like, well, I owe $2,100 in taxes, and that's $1,528 that I owed for federal, and then it was $627 that I owed for state. So it was a little over $2,100. So as I went to go file, the federal says, well, how would you like to, these are your options that you have as far as payments and all that stuff like that. I was shocked when I actually saw that they allowed a credit card, which is amazing, because it worked out for me then, because of course I had to put it on a credit card. Not that I wanted to. I already got enough credit card debt, and I'm trying to knock this down, but that's not going anywhere. But the fact is, I used my credit card to pay the $1,500. So that left me, ultimately the $1,200 some dollars towards state. So I took the $627, set it aside in my checking account, because on the state side of things, I had them do, I'm doing a electronic withdrawal from my checking for that amount. So then the remainder of that balance that I had left in my savings, I applied it towards the credit card that I used to pay the taxes. So ultimately I had it e-filed and an electronic postmark, which is no different than the post office putting a postmark on the top right hand corner of that envelope. I had got it in at 4:39 p.m. on April 15th, and it is paid. So the taxes are off my back. I had to pay a $30 fee for using the credit card, but I'm like, it's better than wondering what the hell I'm going to do. So it's all done and out of the way nevertheless. So that's out of the way, although I'm more broke than ever. So now I have not a penny to my name. other than credit cards, and I don't get paid till Friday, which is probably going to be about $160 approximately, because that's the primary job where my child support comes out of, and my medical, dental, life, and all that stuff like that. And so I honestly don't know how I'm going to live, but so that's the story on that one. Other than that, I guess I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm going to see what happens tomorrow. I'm going to pray for the best, and I'm going to hope that little bit, that something good does happen. Anybody that's stuck by my side, I want to say thank you. I appreciate all your support. I know I'm not the only one with problems out there, when it comes to custody disputes and child support and corrupt systems and stuff. And I pity all those. I mean, I feel sorry. I phrased that wrong. Excuse me. I feel sorry for those who have to go through it, because I know exactly what they're going through. But I do not pity the people who abuse the system and use the system to their advantage for financial gain, such as collecting child support, for not wanting to go out and get jobs, to not be able to maintain things themselves, hiring dirty, corrupt lawyers, using their gender to an advantage, knowing that the court system will favor them and all that. But nevertheless, we're going to see what happens. And again, for all those who can't make it, I will post a video tomorrow night. Since I have off after I get off work, I have the overnight off. I will make a video at home. I will let you know what's going on. Hopefully we'll see people there. Again, feel free to subscribe below. Just click the subscribe button. If you want to get notifications, turn them on. If you like these videos, feel free to like it. For those who dislike it, that's fine. You can dislike it all you want. It's your opinion. It's your feedback. I welcome any and all. I don't take it personal. It is what it is. So, but I'm going to leave you with that for now. Short, brief, and simple, because like I said, this lighting is crap. I feel like crap. And I just wanted to give you guys all an update regarding the court hearing for tomorrow. I am putting that information in the morning, regardless if I sleep or not. I'm going to try to get it all put together, make my notes, and dot my I's, cross my T's this time. It's the same judge that denied me that restraining order against her. And she still harassed me after that hearing, even though she tried to disguise herself as another name. I have it snapshotted. I have it on my phone. So I'm going to hopefully address that as well. If the judge grants me, everything that I want, I'm going to request for an immediate dismissal on the case, due to the grounds that there is no jurisdiction in Grand Forks County, North Dakota, and I have all my, evidence of why. If the judge grants me that, I'm also going to request, since it is hearing a divorce for the divorce, it's related to the divorce, I'm going to go ahead and address to the judge and see if I can request a order for default as well in the same hearing, due to the fact that they have not responded to my paperwork, my summons that was originally served upon them back on February 14th. And I'm going to see if I can get what I requested. So again, I'll leave it at that. Information, I'll try to include as much details as I can below. Feel free to, like I said, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. And as soon as that hearing's done, later that night, I will get another video up. I don't know if it'll be live stream or just a video recording. Hopefully, maybe I'll live stream it. But I will give you the most up-to-date detail that I will have regarding that hearing, exactly what was said, as much as I can to the T. I will make notes. I will jot it down. I will, if the judge makes a decision, I will let you know that as well. So, if you have any questions or anything like that, you can feel free to comment below. I will try to do my best to answer them. Again, anybody that is gone back and looked at my items for sale video, if there's anything you're interested in, you can still message that number. I will do my best to respond to it as diligently as I can. If you want to donate, I will try to include that donation link below. It'll be a PayPal link, so if you have PayPal, it's the best way to donate. Any donations are welcome. I'm not asking for donations. I'm just letting people know in case they want to ask me, well, what can they do to help donate? I will put a link below. If you want to donate that way, you sure can. If you do donate, do know that in the bottom of my heart, it is very, very much appreciated, and I do appreciate any support you do offer and give. And I thank you for sticking with me and following along on these videos. You guys have a wonderful night, and I will be back with you hopefully tomorrow night. Thanks.